Good morning.
Morning.
How are you guys?
Always in need of more coffee.
Hey, I just got myself a cup of coffee. I'm so tired. My mom and I accidentally stayed up yesterday. She was working and I was playing. We stayed up really late. But that's okay.
Well, in this recent world of, Corona, you can do whatever you need to.
Pretty much. Yeah, I know.
Well, we're supposed to have more people. It's time.
You made it earlier than last time.
I just want to keep people on their toes.
I know. Sammy was having conflictions last time you did it at 9 o'clock. He was like, it's too early. Hi, guys.
Morning, Amanda. Nice choice of sweatshirts.
Thank you.
Hi.
Morning.
Well, I'm trying to admit Isaiah.
Yeah. Hi, Coach. Just had to say hi. No, he went out. I'm liking this, by the way, Coach. Kind of scared me at first, but come on. Me too. I've said like so many comments about it already.
I had someone tell me I needed to get the black top hat and just start doing this on a regular basis.
Oh no.
Put some innocent person on a railroad and just start just laughing to myself in an evil mocking laughter.
You're picking up the shaver and I ordered a tub of wax, so we'll see how that goes. All right.
Bye.
Bye. Hi, Amanda.
Hi.
Good to see you. I don't know who that is. That's David. Hi, David. I've told you about David.
Gretchen's in sideways. I don't know how that happened.
See you later. Bye.
There she is. Now Gretchen's right side up. Give another couple of minutes for everyone else to get in here. So I'm sure with all the sunshine, everyone's been out laying in the sun, working on their tan, trying to not look so pasty, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Yes.
There's Kitty. Morning, Kitty. She's still trying to turn on her video and audio. Morning, Isaiah. We'll see if Jude will actually join us this morning. Okay, so I'll start off with, did anyone have any problems watching any of the videos that were put on there as it related to neurology and the nervous system?
No, I thought the eye was very interesting. Didn't know how the eye worked.
And then were there any problems? I mean, do you guys have any questions about what I'm looking for in that discussion question?
Oh, I have a question. Do you want us to cite the references? And if so,
Yeah.
how did it?
Yeah, so Joshua and Kitty both asked it, and I couldn't tell if my responses to them could be seen by everyone. But what I'm looking for is 2 to 3 paragraphs, but in there you need to support your opinion, and in so doing, cite references in the body of the text of what you're writing, or just dump them at the bottom. So at the bottom of these 2 to 3 paragraphs, just throw your references in there. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfectly formatted. I just want to know where you're pulling your opinion from. And part of this is a practice for what you'll be doing in any online college classes that you do. One of the things that we do for the University of Maryland and for Chapman University is that in these discussions, we want the students, and that's at all levels, we want the students to be able to identify that there are 2 kind of sides to this. The first one is that recognizing that you yourself are not an expert, and you are in fact borrowing somebody else's opinion who is an expert. So whenever you put that opinion down, you're having to basically say, okay, this is my opinion, but it's because I'm borrowing it from such and such expert, and I'm presenting it here. So in citing that reference, you're giving credit to where credit needs to be given, but at the same time, you're showing that you are able to support what you are thinking. And this kind of craziness, if you will, this habit will basically carry on up until you guys get like your master's degrees, because apparently none of us are allowed to have real opinions until we have master's degrees in the academic world. Not trying to be mean, it's just the way everyone behaves at the university level. That even papers that I submitted, even for my doctorate, even then they wanted me to show where I was getting that information from and supporting it with appropriate references being cited. So for those of you who are planning to go on university, it's just a good habit to get into right now and something that you will use later.
Okay.
So basically, we're just answering the questions in 2 to 3 paragraphs and then giving the sources. And then we're commenting on it. How do we give are you wanting us to like list the sources in like APA format at the very bottom and then just
that's
insert
fine.
conclusion?
Kind of like put a footnote.
Okay.
So if you
We're not just like put in parentheses the website.
Well, just make sure that you do the reference at the bottom. So I mean, it's one of those like, if in these 2 to 3 paragraphs you're not, shall we say, you're not repeating what the people said word for word, but you are giving me your version of it,
Summarizing it.
And then just, where did you get that from?
Okay, in APA format.
Yes. So, and then I showed in the video a couple of the books that I've been using as references on this. There are arguments today. People, ever since the Human Genome Project, people have been arguing whether or not there is a evil gene, a gene that controls whether or not a person is considered evil, that their behavior is maybe more related to their genetic makeup and less related to how they were nurtured or how they were brought up. And so one of the pieces here from a bioethical standpoint is, are the criminals that are currently in for, say, multiple murders, things of that nature, could it be related to something that is a lesion on the brain tissue that's causing a lack of empathy, that's causing problems from a physiological standpoint where technically they're not in control of the choices that they're making, or that their choices are being impacted by these physiological structural changes? So it's just a point of consideration, and one that you can either argue for it or you can argue against it, and just try to tell me why you think one way or the other. Does that make sense? I got nods. I guess that's an improvement. Okay.
On the on when we respond to other kids, how much do you want us to like write on theirs?
Just a couple of lines. You can either, for this
Okay.
first time around, if Andrea wants to say, David, I really agree with your points. I liked where you said X, Y, Z. That's good right there. Couple of sentences, keep it simple. This is just introducing you how to do this in an online class forum. That's all.
Okay.
And it gives me the ability to assess, did you actually watch the videos and did you actually read the chapters? Now we are recording this, and so I will post it a little bit later in case anyone has any questions or you guys want to refer back to it. And it'll also allow those individuals who apparently could not get up by 9 a.m. The chance to see what all was said. So I appreciate the fact that you guys were on time and did make the effort to jump on here. Are there any additional questions associated with the assignment this week, or any other reading from this week? Sorry, Jeffrey, all we can hear is you talking to somebody else in the room.
Oh.
Okay. So if there are no other questions, it's nice to see all your happy, smiley faces. And I'll talk to you guys a bit later. Have a good weekend.
You too.